Imagine living a life where every choice you make, every action you take, is not just a reflection of your circumstances, but a manifestation of your deepest self-creation. What if, instead of following preordained paths or adhering to societal norms, you could live according to your own will, creating meaning and purpose from within? This idea, though radical, forms the cornerstone of Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy, which challenges conventional wisdom and invites us to explore the profound potential of human existence. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy lies the concept of the Übermensch, Overman or Superman, and the provocative idea of eternal recurrence. But what do these ideas truly mean, and what implications do they have for individualism and human potential? In this essay, we'll explore Nietzsche's idea of the Übermensch and its connection to individualism and human flourishing, before diving into the concept of eternal recurrence and its profound implications for the way we live our lives. So, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a philosophical journey that questions everything we thought we knew about existence. Welcome to the Unfolding Journey, the channel where we dive deep into the greatest minds of philosophy, psychology, and culture. Here, we aim to explore complex ideas that shape how we see the world, ourselves, and our potential. If you're passionate about thought-provoking discussions that challenge conventional wisdom and spark self-reflection, you're in the right place. This video is a part of our ongoing series that explores profound philosophical ideas. And today, we're diving into the heart of Nietzsche's work. If you find this content enriching, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all of our upcoming explorations. Now, let's continue our journey into Nietzsche's bold vision for humanity. Friedrich Nietzsche, a philosopher who often thrived on pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo, introduced the concept of the Übermensch in his work Thus Spoke Zarathustra. In simple terms, the Übermensch can be understood as an ideal or aspirational figure that transcends the limitations imposed by society, culture, and traditional morality. The term Übermensch is typically translated as Overman or Superman and represents Nietzsche's vision of a new kind of human being who, instead of conforming to external norms, creates their own values and lives authentically and autonomously. For Nietzsche, the Übermensch is not someone born with superior qualities or an inherent sense of entitlement. Rather, it is an ideal that represents the culmination of human potential. The Übermensch has overcome the constraints of traditional moral systems, those derived from religion, societal expectations, or established norms, and embraces the responsibility of self-creation. This individual is someone who chooses their own path, not because it is easy or accepted, but because it is a true reflection of their will to power, an idea that Nietzsche explores extensively throughout his work. Nietzsche's critique of traditional morality. To understand the significance of the Übermensch, we must first understand Nietzsche's critique of traditional morality. Nietzsche saw conventional morality, particularly the values espoused by Christianity, as restrictive and life-denying. According to Nietzsche, the moral codes promoted by religion and society limit human potential, suppressing individual desires, passions, and creativity in favor of meekness, humility, and conformity. He referred to this type of morality as slave morality, contrasting it with master morality, a value system that celebrates strength, power, and creativity. The Übermensch represents a radical departure from slave morality, where traditional moral systems place emphasis on duty, humility, and sacrifice for the sake of others. The Übermensch prioritizes self-mastery, strength, and the creation of new values that reflect individual will and power. This does not mean that the Übermensch is devoid of compassion or care for others. Rather, it signifies that the Übermensch does not allow societal norms or religious dogma to determine their actions or values. By creating their own values and living in accordance with their authentic desires, the Übermensch embodies Nietzsche's vision of the highest human potential, a life lived beyond the constraints of traditional morality. The role of individualism in Nietzsche's philosophy. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the notion of radical individualism. Nietzsche saw the individual as the ultimate source of meaning and value in the world. In his view, traditional systems, religion, morality, and even politics often sought to suppress individuality in favor of the collective. The Übermensch, however, represents the pinnacle of individualism, someone who is not bound by external authorities or traditional constraints, but who creates their own meaning in the world. This radical individualism, however, does not imply isolation or selfishness. Instead, it emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility, the courage to stand alone, and the capacity to cultivate one's own virtues and values. The Übermensch does not live in a vacuum, cut off from the world around them. Rather, they engage with life in a way that is authentic and true to their deepest nature, refusing to be subjugated by external forces. This emphasis on self-creation and individual empowerment is one of the most revolutionary aspects of Nietzsche's philosophy. The concept of eternal recurrence. Alongside the idea of the Übermensch, Nietzsche introduces the concept of eternal recurrence, which is one of the most profound and unsettling ideas in his philosophy. Eternal recurrence suggests that every event, every moment, every action in our lives will be repeated infinitely forever. In other words, the universe and everything in it will repeat itself in exactly the same way for all eternity. Nietzsche posed this idea as a test. Would we be able to live our lives in such a way that we would be willing to experience the same events over and over without change? For Nietzsche, the concept of eternal recurrence serves as a challenge to how we approach our lives. If we knew that every moment would be repeated eternally, how would we live? Would we make different choices? Or would we live with the same intensity, joy, and commitment to our values? The idea of eternal recurrence forces us to confront the reality of our choices and consider the long-term consequences of how we live our lives. The Übermensch, in this context, is the individual who embraces the idea of eternal recurrence. They live their life in such a way that they would willingly choose to repeat it over and over again. To live authentically, to live with power and self-determination, is to live in a way that makes the idea of eternal recurrence not a burden, but a joyous affirmation of life itself. Implications for human potential. Both the Übermensch and eternal recurrence challenge us to think about human potential in radically new ways. Nietzsche's philosophy calls on us to move beyond the limitations imposed by society, religion, and conventional morality, and to embrace a more expansive vision of what it means to be human. The Übermensch represents the highest form of human potential, a person who has transcended the constraints of tradition and is capable of creating new values that are in harmony with their deepest desires and will. It is an invitation to step into the unknown and take responsibility for the life we create. Eternal recurrence, on the other hand, challenges us to live with full awareness of the consequences of our actions. It asks us to embrace life in its totality, with all its suffering, joy, challenges, and triumphs. If we can live in such a way that we would gladly repeat our lives eternally, then we have truly embraced the fullest potential of our humanity. Nietzsche's vision of the Übermensch and his concept of eternal recurrence present a bold and transformative view of human existence. The Übermensch is not an ideal to be passively accepted. It is a call to action, a challenge to live in accordance with our deepest self, free from the constraints of societal expectations. Eternal recurrence, meanwhile, is a powerful reminder to live authentically and embrace every moment as if it were to be repeated forever. Nietzsche's philosophy invites us to break free from conventional ways of thinking and become the creators of our own lives. It challenges us to embrace the full potential of our individuality, power, and creativity. To live as the Übermensch is to recognize that we are not defined by the past or the expectations of others, but by our capacity to create meaning and value in the world. If you found this exploration of Nietzsche's philosophy insightful, be sure to subscribe to The Unfolding Journey for more deep dives into philosophical concepts that challenge our understanding of life, self, and society. Together, we can continue on this journey toward greater understanding and self-empowerment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for joining us on this thought-provoking adventure. and we look forward to exploring more ideas with you in the future.